Shun not the mead, but drink in measure. Speak to the point or be still. For rudeness none shall rightly blame thee, if soon thy bed thou seekest. Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to turn 19 of Attica's game Aries, where we are playing the Well of Urd, God of Utgard. And let's go ahead and jump into the turn. So we have a couple of messages. One from Lemuria, 10 plus gibbers killed. Nice job, Lemuria. A messenger from Atlantis. So I may have miscounted turns to get to Midgard, and my scouts might be 1 and 2 turns away, but I have some. That's good. Could we have a late dance night or a late night dance party extension? I will provide the midnight snacks. Sure. Yeah, I'm. This is pretty much a joke anyway, so I'm by no means gonna be a super stickler about this. I'll send a message back to Atlantis. Probably like if they're 1 to 2 turns away, we'll go for like. I would like to use those scouts for actual scouting, so we'll try not to do it too far away, but maybe do like a turn 22 type thing. Go from there. Got some reanimations cast. Revive Mound King. No suitable blood slaves. That is unfortunate. An unexpected event in Uric Balcor. I do not know what these are. I have not checked. Strange events occurring and superstition among the commoners is increasing. Unrest. No. Dominion. No. That sucks. Unexpected event in Runia. Oh, okay. Lab gained. Astral Pearls, Blood Slaves, and Fire in a Jar. Okay. So this is Uric Balcor. Runia is... Where is Runia? Oh, way over here. I don't think that's going to be super useful, but okay. Not a big deal. Alright, so I've gone through and I've done all of my renaming, all of that good stuff. We are up to 20 scouts and 20 seaths on turn 19, so I feel pretty okay about that. That feels nice on top of everything else that we're doing. And I mean, let's be honest, this is the big deal. We've got our armies moving into Almish lands. So this one's pretty simple. Easy peasy. We're actually going to have these guys, just in case, we're going to have these guys hold and attack enemy cavalry, right? Just in case there's some sort of heavy cav or something like that that comes for Big Goad 1. So he's going to move in. We're going to have Seath 2 move up here to do some site searching. And then pretty much everyone else is going to come down in here. Now, I did do a little bit of readjusting of the setup here. Basically just pushed the Seath Konas back. There's no reason for them to be nearly as close as they were, especially if they're going to be mind burn spamming, right? You can basically mind burn from back to midsection, probably further, honestly. 100 units, range 100 is pretty vast. So we should be able to hit our targets regardless there. So we still got Twist Fate, Resist Magic, Personal Regeneration, and Astral Shield coming up. I would rather body Ethereal, right? And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, now that we've changed... the issue with body Ethereal previously was that there were too many... Because of the Giants, there's too many high... Oh, we don't have body Ethereal yet. Sorry. That's one of the other reasons. But even once we get it, we might not always use it instead of Astral Shield, because with all the Giants being around, Body Ethereal is not a self-cast. It's a square. You cast it on a target square, which means that the mages will prefer higher HP pool squares, which they generally are not. Even if you stack 3 of them in the same square, they tend to not be the highest HP thing around because of this type of shit. So that's something to keep in mind, right? I would love to get Body Ethereal on a lot of our slaves, because it's really useful, but we'll do with what we can. I still think Mind Burn's going to be a little bit better here initially than, say, Horde of Skeletons is. Just because we have such a large force. We have 120 units here, right? It feels unlikely to me that we're going to be able to use most of those in a regular fight. So aside from that, though, actually, now that I think about this, we are going to do something else. The king is going to actually come down here to Nirn. So we're going to have all the rest of the stuff go over here to Ironwood Forest. We're even going to bring Goad 1 in. He is going to be set to cast spells. And that's going to be it. We should one turn pop this fort. Assuming that he is not prepared, right? Here's the thing. He might come out with an army here in Nirn. That's why I'm sending in this force, right? It's probably, if he sends a whole army to try to relieve Copper Woods, on the assumption that he sees this here, right? The King's army, King 1, is not going to be enough to stop it, more than likely, right? But, you know, I could do this. No, I think it's a little early in the game to start getting really tricksy with stuff. We're just gonna go all on Copper Woods, and we're gonna hit Nirn with the king. If the king doesn't get hit with an army, he will probably roll over Nirn. If he does get hit with an army, he has a sizable enough force, not with these guys, but with the Long Dead Giants, that these guys should do a chunk of damage. So that should be good. All right, what else is going on? So we are going to do our little extension here. So what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to do a little spiral around for 2 turns, because I would rather do that than go directly on his cap. That being said, it's all set up here. I think we're definitely going to have reanimation for a little while. Got some more research going there. Get our research back up. This guy will just patrol. So we should have construction 4 in 2 turns, which will be good. And then we're either going to run up Thaumaturgy or some, you know, Paralyzed Soul Slay, access to things like Auspex, that type of stuff. And I mean, plenty of other stuff. Or we'll start running up Evocation. We could run up Conjuration for a use for my Nature Gems. Get some Brood of Garm, that type of thing. You get 5 Sacred Wolves for this, which is not too bad. We don't have a very good Bless, but Blood Surge, if you put those guys on like an attack rear and you get like 10 or so of them, they can be pretty dangerous. So that's an option. But we're good for now. Okay, so we want to add in probably just another Seath Kona. I'm going to make sure our mage recruitment is where it's supposed to be first and foremost. So this can be upgraded. We don't want her doing that, but this is part of the reason why we got Calm 2. So he's going to come down there and start upgrading. This scout is going to come over here and start ferrying back and forth with Gunloth. Fajalar is recruit. Yes. Fajalar can head that direction to start blood hunting in Lowmark as well. 2 comes in over here. And then, so we have a couple more scouts. These scouts are not going to go join the dance party. These scouts are actually going to, well, the scout might. Scout 19 might. Because that's just where he is. But the other scouts are going to actually start, well, scouting. So, you know how it is. These scouts, we're just going to do a big circle around. And we should be good. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Ulm is pretty small. Okay. We've got this here, this here. Alright, looks like we should be good to just grab our daily allotment of gaudy huskarls, and let's actually check up here real quick. We can do most of those. Let's get them in the south. That's where the war is. And then get them here, and that should be about it. Any mercenaries that we want to go for? No, not at the moment. We did just get a fire. We're getting so many nice little random things, but they're not really like, they're future nice, right? Like a fire in the jar, I have no fire magic. Bag of winds, I don't really have wind magic. Water bracelet, don't really have water magic, you know? Like, I could put this black steel plate on, let's see, what if I did this on Filar real fast? So he has that protection 9. If I put that on, he's at protection 19. It's not too bad, actually. These, I have to be careful with these Scrotty. These Scrotty are not as good as the early age, and even I think the middle age Scrotty. These Scrotty are a little weaker. Did I just... Okay, I was about to say, I hate it when I'm not paying attention and I cycle through these Scrotty formations, because when I get to the wolf, if you're not on a laboratory and you do that, you lose those items. Like, they disappear. They're gone. It's like you drop them on the ground and bury them and say fuck you goodbye. So I gotta be careful about that. But anyways, so you lose so many paths going into wolf form with these Scrotty that it's just, they're not nearly as good of thugs as the early age version are. We'll still probably do a little bit of light thugging with them, just because we can make them everywhere. But they're more valuable, in my opinion, to us as turbo communion slaves and as just having access to things like blood and water and death. So, like, for example, actually, now that I think about it, Filar, right? Or Gunloth, they are water for us. I just said we don't have water mages, but they are water for us. So Gunloth, for example, can get up to water 3. I don't think that's, I mean, that doesn't mean anything to us right now. We have enchantment 5, so we're not going to get anything out of that. But it is something to keep in mind, especially if we run up conjuration, right? We can start, we could start doing Voice of Apsus to remote site search pretty easily, or we can do things like contact sea trolls, or where is it? Sea King's Court, right? Eventually getting up to this point would be pretty good, because this could get us into water more effectively against like Erythia or Atlantis or Lemuria. So those are just options, just things to think about. We're still going to go here with Filar. I can't say that name all the time consistently. And I think that's about it, except we have a little bit of unrest up here in Yurik Balkor. So I'm actually going to send out... I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to send out this group, and this group is going to be on fire, just in case we actually run into something, and this guy is going to be like that. And we're going to go out here, and we're going to probably patrol for a turn or two to try to get that down, and then we'll come back and actually do whatever we're going to do with that army. So, that is the movement for our turn. What are we sending as far as messages go? Because you know we're sending a bunch. We're going to send a message to Lemuria. That's good news. Gath has a force of 30-ish gibbers on our border, so that's a cluster not coming at you. We're going to send that off. And that's from right here, basically. So this is probably this is a bit of a fib, right? This is most definitely not 30 gibbers. It's mostly Giddite soldiers, but there are some gibbers here, and it's over 50. So I'm going to say it's 30-ish, just to kind of like keep that dialogue open with Lemuria, right? He's probably got these here because he's probably going to finally... And this has been like 4 or 5 turns, right? He's probably going to finally come take these. Which, more power to him, right? We're going to take these. So, sending that to Lemuria, and then we're going to send... a message to Atlantis, basically just confirming... not a problem. Actual dance party on turn 22! Exclamation mark, question mark. So hopefully that's acceptable. How goes the war against the small ones? Send that off. And then we're going to send a message to Vadihheim, actually. So we're going to say... Vadihheim, careful small ones. We have heard whispers that the Elfmen and possibly Gath might be looking towards you next. How goes the battle against the Fishmen? So this is a complete lie, right? But I want Vadihheim to start to maybe care about Atlantis a little bit less, and maybe start getting rid of that, because in the near future I'm going to need allies against Midgard. I'm pretty positive. So I'm trying to get him off of Atlantis's back, so that at the very least I can have Atlantis as an ally. Or I'm trying to get him off Atlantis' back so I can have him as an ally. Either I think would be acceptable, but we'll see. So, got Vadihheim, and then we are going to send a message to Ulm. To the and I'm sorry for this, for the guy who is now subbed into Ulm. Sorry, I had planned on doing this even before you subbed. Hail, Iron Men of the mountain lands. Our lands are prosperous, but we have discovered that with bounty and growth comes a new issue: overpopulation. We hereby declare war upon the Iron Men. I like to send declarations of war to people. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't know, if the Pokemon game that I'm playing right now, I'm not doing a lot of in-game diplomacy. It's all over Discord and stuff like that. So in that situation, I don't know. If I'm not talking to you, I'm just not talking to you. I just don't care at that point, right? But in games like this, where I'm trying to be much more conversational to people, I definitely like to send out declarations of war. So here is a war deck to Ulm. And then here is our message to everyone. And it's finally happened. The waters of the well run red. As we have truly moved against another nation. I am anticipating, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm anticipating this war with Ulm going fairly well for us. Otherwise, why would I be doing this war? I absolutely think we're going to crush this northern side really quickly. It's a question of popping Ulm's capital. I don't think we have too much to worry about, right? Ulm does not, in this age, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure they do in any age, but they don't have, like, assassins or anything like that. They have extremely tough troops. They're Ghoul Guardians, or they're Black Templars, right? They're very, very tough. These Black Templars are kind of like protection-based vans, right? Instead of, they're just incredibly tough heavy cav that will whoop your ass, right? Except we are giants, so it's really hard for them to beat our ass that badly, right? If they have a Killer Bless, they can smoke us, sure, but I don't think they have a Killer Bless, because if they had a Killer Bless, I feel like they would have expanded better, right? If these guys come to the field, the other effect here is sure, they have 23 protection, right? Great, fantastic. Each of my giants hits for 24 damage on a spear and 23 damage on a javelin, right? So I can hurt them. Absolutely, I can hurt them. And my Garm hurtings can just cut them in half. So, and adding to the mix, right, you add Mind Burns and things like that. I think that this is going to be a very good matchup for us. There are some potential issues, right? Potential issue being how much research they have, their fortune tellers, and their black priests. So these guys are, I think it's these guys, right? Yeah, it should be the black priests, are really good blade wind or iron blizzard spammers, right? Which can be extremely dangerous to me, right? So we'll see how that goes. And then fortune tellers, or just in general astral mages, right? They're illuminated ones, paired with other things. Like doing a whole bunch of imp summons could catch me off guard, things like that, right? And of course, it's obvious they have been summoning the wolf herds. So the wolf herders, right, summon a crap ton of wolves. I'm not worried about wolves. They're not going to do crap to me. I don't think, unless they're in crazy numbers, they're not going to do enough to me for it to matter. So that is basically that. I'm feeling pretty good about this war. We'll see how it goes. I will see you all next time. Peace. Well, kinda peace.